Built a nice fire here. Standing out here by myself out here next to the lake here. Think about a lot of things. No. Lately here in my life here, these past few years, I got a lot of stuff that's inside here, and like I said here lately, I got a urge to start sharing all of that stuff. I want to show people what's inside of me here. Maybe I'm turning old, turning elder here. Got this stuff inside of me that I want to share with people. Like I start sharing these racing stories. I start sharing these stories that were told to me, these things that I learned, like racing. Or harvesting wild rice is my biggest passion. I started racing back in 1978. I was born in 72. I was 6 years old when I first went out. My mom took me out to Mud Lake at the end of the year race. And it wasn't like, Davey, get out here and race. It wasn't like that. It was totally the other way around. Mom, take me racing. Mom, can you take me racing now? I think I did that for almost 2 years. She finally gave in. All right, come on, and take you out there. I was 6 at that time, and things were different back then, 1970s. And I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed to see the last part of how racing used to be. It's in the 70s. And in the 80s, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I think the state started taking control of the lakes. I'm not sure, but I think this is what happened. The state of Minnesota started taking care of all the lakes, and they opened everything green. And at that time, the whole reservation was racing. The only one that didn't race was the little kids that stayed home. I remember being a little kid, and there was hardly even anybody to watch us. There'd be 1 or 2 people in the neighborhood there, but it was just all of us kids, and everybody. They all went racing. That's the way things were. But in the 80s, when they opened that the way they did, and all those racers were in there racing all of that really green rice and trying to get rice off of that, and that ruined our rice beds. We almost lost them. There was hardly any rice around. And then that rice went way down at price, I think 25 cents, 20 cents. And that was in the 80s. They started racing all day. Raced till 6 at night. There were people racing yet, but for the most part, nobody hardly raced. And then the racers started picking up after that in the 90s. And kind of where we are today, people race a lot different. From what I remember in the 70s when I first started racing. And I'm truly blessed to catch the last part of that, to see that, how all those old ones raced, how all those boats used to come out. One time we were out on headquarters, and that wind picked up. That rice on headquarters used to be different. It used to be tall rice. You could hardly see over it. You couldn't even see over it. You stand up in your boat and you had great big heads on there, But that wind picked up one day and I heard my grandpa way over there. Sit down in your boat. And you hear him hollering over there. Put that pole in the mud. Hang on to your pole. And that wind picked up like that, and that rice laid right down in the water. You could see boats all over the place that you didn't even know were there. There were hundreds of boats out there. Just like holy, boats all over the place out there. But one of the things I wanted to say here is every one of those experiences that I had out there since 1978, when I first started, I spent a lot of hours on that rice bed. And I had some good times and bad times and a lot of learning. I did a whole lot of learning out there. Not just the things that I learned out there helped me in my life too. When I took that stuff that I learned out there and I turned it over and applied it, to living, just regular living. And every one of those times, every one of those hours and minutes, it's a different color, and it's a stroke of a paintbrush, and it paints an awesomely beautiful picture inside of me. And it just overwhelms me sometimes on how awesome and how beautiful that picture is. And lately here, last few years, and by past few years here, I've been wanting to show people how beautiful that is. And I try really hard to use words to paint that picture for people, paint that picture for you. It doesn't even come close. Those words don't even do justice of what that picture looks like inside of me when I try to use words to show you what that picture looks like. It just doesn't do any justice. And that rice bed, that's a sacred place. It's medicine out there. That rice bed, there's those old ones used to say when you do stuff like that, you go ricing like that, you do fish or you do firewood, you do anything like that, any kind of stuff like that. You work with wigwas, you work with any of that stuff. You're supposed to have a happy heart. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be thinking in that way. And for some reason, I don't know how that works, but your stuff turns out better. Your rice tastes better. Your fish that you work with, it tastes better. The stuff that you're making, it looks better. Just because you have that in your heart, the way you do that. I remember those old ones there. They used to say that you need to be that way when you're doing stuff like that. But from my own experience, I want to share this. I'm going to share this with you. My own experience. I've had there's people that I've known who riced that are gone now. They went on. They crossed over to the other side. They left us here. When I go out there, I can still feel them there. I remember them there. Their memories are strong there. And it feels like I'm with them out there. And I sit out there and I work hard out there in that rice bed. And I think about all those other ones that were before. You know what? It's just not those people that I knew. It's all of those people. All their memories are out there too. And when you're out there working hard like that, you're with them. And it seems like the harder you work, the closer you are to them. The more tired you are, sometimes you could just almost hear them laughing over there. You just almost see them over there. You like look over there and you can just almost see them. You almost hear them. You feel like you're with them out there. All those people, all of our people that were ricing those rice beds before us. And there's times when I tried to be happy. I tried to be that way when I was out there, but I went out there as a broken man many times. The weight of the world and all the problems that I've been going through it just broke me. You know what I needed? I needed that rice. I needed to go out there. And when I went out there, you know what? That medicine, that being with those people that were there, being out there with all of that. Oh, it just that healed me. That made me feel strong and gave me what I needed to keep going on. Maybe I am getting old now. That one of my friends was telling me that he said, he said, we're not that old, but we're the elders out here now. I thought about it. He's right. He is right. All those old ones that used to race with us, that used to holler at the young ones that, hey, you're doing that wrong. Hey, you're busting that rice. They're all those guys are gone now, and it's our turn to be those ricers that are teaching people. But anyway, I was sitting here by this fire thinking about all that stuff. I just wanted to share that with you. Yep.